Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of modding the game Euro by Cyan Worlds. Of course I know that modding Euro is not something new. It has a very rich history where fans have created incredible pieces of software, basically reverse engineering the game engine and writing plugins for the graphics program Blender. However, just recently, in March 2010, Cyan has released the plugin that they used to create the game back then, and that was what got me started and interested in the process. So in this tutorial we are just going to talk about what pieces of software you need to get started and how to set it up properly, because there can be minor issues. If you already have that and you don't need it, perhaps the next video is interesting for you, because there we're going to talk about speed improvements, how you can speed up your workflow, and we will build our very first basic age. So what do you need? Of course you need the games. You need either Euro, the standalone game, and the add-on The Paths of the Shell, or you have everything in one pack, the complete Chronicles pack, where everything is already included. Then you need 3D Studio Max. That is a 3D modeling application. However, right now the problem is that only 3D Studio Max version 7 works with the plugin. That might change in the future. When Cyan releases the source code of the plugin, people might improve the code so that it works with more recent versions. Right now only Max 7 works, perhaps Max 8, but I'm not sure on that. The problem is that version 7 of 3D Studio Max is not being distributed right now. That means there is no way you can get the software. All I can say at this point is that I don't support piracy. However, you will need the software if you want to follow these tutorials. Because Cyan World has released its official Plasma Engine plugins for 3D Studio Max, which expand the functionality of the program. For example, now you have the component manager, with which you can add sound effects, background music, animations, physics objects into your age, and you can set the properties for these things. I will put a link to the plugin in the comment section of this video. And if you hit export in 3D Studio Max, then all the files are being compiled. However, you need one more thing to get them into the game and test them real time, and that is a software called Drizzle. Now this is fan created because right now Cyan hasn't released a software to import the age into the game. And Drizzle has been around for quite a long time, and it has two nice features. One, you can already use it to download ages that other users created and play them in your version of Euro. And since version 24, it has a new tab up there called The Art, which of course refers to the art of writing ages, and that is used to import the files that you have exported from 3D Studio Max and put them into the game. Well, I think that's all the software you need, so now let's have a look at how to set everything up. First things first, of course, you need to install the game first of all. Choose a nice directory and install it in there. You need about 3 to 4 gigabytes for everything. A little tip here, go to Google and type in Euro save game, and you can download games where other people have already played through the complete game. This is useful so that you don't have to play through the game to get access to all these ages. If you download a file like that, you will get a folder with a very long number, and you just put this folder with all its content into the save subdirectory of your Euro installation. Also, please download Drizzle. As I said, the link is in the commentary section of this video. Sometimes there's the problem that programs like WinZip try to open this file Drizzle because they think it's an archive. It's not. In this case, you need to tell Windows to open it with a Java platform executable, because it is a Java file. So you don't need to extract it, just double click it. And we need to do two important things here. First of all, in the pods folder, which is Path of the Shell, point it to the installation directory of Euro, and then hit Get Latest List here. This downloads a list with all the ages that other fans have already created. However, what we are interested in is the offline KI, which is at the very top of this page. So highlight it and then click download. It will download and install automatically. It will take some time, but it'll work. And this adds functionality to the game, like using the fly mod so that you can move more easily through the ages, and will also give you a nice option to link quickly to your newly created ages. That is all we need to do in here for the moment, so let's close Drizzle. You have of course also installed 3D Studio Max 7, which comes with quite a lot of files, but not enough. So switch back to your Uru installation folder. In here you need to copy all the DLL files, BINC32. These two files, EAX, the Python file, I don't know if you need all of them, just for completeness, highlight all of them, copy them, and put them into the main installation directory of 3D Studio Max. If it asks you whether you want to overwrite a file that is already there, hit no, because the files of 3D Studio Max are likely to be newer. And finally, when you download the Plasma plugin from Cyan Worlds, you will find two files in there, and these files go into the plugins subdirectory, and these are the files Max Plasma Lights and Plasma Max. So just copy them into the plugins subdirectory, and then you can start 3D Max. What you will get, even if you don't see it here, is an error. The application will crash. However, that was good, because now in the plugcfg subdirectory we have a new file. And this is plasma-max2.ini. You can open it with your standard text editor, and this file just doesn't have the right structure. I have prepared something here. This is how it should look like. So just copy this text. I think you can also find it in the comment section of this video. What is important is the directory line, because when you hit the export button in 3D Studio Max, this folder here is where all the data is going to be exported. So this really must point to a folder on your hard drive that exists and where you want the data to be. So type the complete folder in here, then close it and save the changes. OK. At this point it might be a good idea to come back to Drizzle and switch to the Art tab. This is where you then convert the ages to put them into the game and test them, and you must point it to the exact same folder that you've just put into the maxplasma2.ini file for 3D Studio Max. So hit select, browse to the folder, and then click on update. And in here, in ages, you will then type the name of the ages that you create, and we'll talk about that now. Finally, I want to show you this output folder where Max is going to export all the data. Inside this output folder, you should create a subfolder called dat, lowercase dat, because that is what the Plasma engine looks for the files. And in here, finally, create a text file and then change the ending from txt to .age. This is how it should look like. This is what basically defines your age and what the plugin in 3D Studio Max refers to. An important part here is the sequence prefix number. I chose 5555 for my age, and your age should have a unique sequence prefix number. How can you find out whether it's unique? Go to this website, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, because it has a list of sequence prefixes that have already been reserved by other people. And this is quite a long list. Of course you have all the ages that were created by Cyan. However, other fans have also registered some of these numbers for their own ages. So for example, down here you will find 5555 test age. That is me, so don't steal my prefix number. The prefix number is important because when one day Cyan releases a program to make your age available to the broad public, each age needs to be specifically numbered so that the engine can keep them apart. That was it. In the next video we are going to talk about improving the speed of your workflow, and we'll create our very first age.